The Eye Beyond the Fog. Dr. Horace Bendel was a gaunt man of indeterminate age, perhaps 45, though his hunched carriage and cadaverous eyes lent him the gravitas of someone far older. His skeletal frame, heightened by his choice of long, patchy frock coats of elderberry black, creaked with each limping step. Horace's skin bore the jaundiced pallor of someone who had not seen authentic sunlight in decades. Clasping his ever-present brass-rimmed spectacles, which often quivered at the bridge of his hooked nose, he blinked obsessively to navigate the world beyond his failing vision. His hair was thin, curling irregularly in painterly bronze wisps around his ears and neck. He mumbled constantly, Latin phrases, whispered arithmetic or poetry, mostly to himself. It was said by locals that he never truly looked at anyone, but rather peered always just behind them. Through the perpetual overcast of Dunsvale, Dr. Bendel attended a final patient, Agatha Clore, a woman whose voice was spotted with static, whose hands trembled like moths. She complained not of pain, but of visions. She claimed to see obscured shapes watching her from corners of morning fog, their forms shifting with each blink. Dr. Bendel, intrigued yet wary, diagnosed her condition as advanced cataracta, opacities of the lens, a visual fog. He himself had suffered such a malady, treated crudely in secret with eye drops of his own obscured alchemy. But when he peered into Agatha's pupil through his loupe, it was as if something stared back, pupilless, endless, recursive. When he asked what she saw now, her only reply was, "A doorway. You opened it." Since that night, the lamplight in Bendel's clinic bent strangely. Walls, once austere, now bore what he described as optical scars, as though something unseen had clawed lightly but deliberately. Though bearing skepticism, Horace began experiencing his own affliction return. Not the clouding alone, but writhing silhouettes blooming behind his cornea each dawn. He locked the clinic doors, scrawled chalk circles on tiled floors, and began murmuring incantations foreign even to him. In Agatha's records, he discovered a faded daguerreotype of a coastal lighthouse, half submerged in fog, and in its window, unmistakable eyes, identical to those of Horace Bendel, though dated 1847, nearly a century before his birth. Then came the knocking, irregular, wet, like tendons snapping just behind plaster. Horace, near blind now and frayed in voice, opened his eye, his right, the one afflicted last, not with pupils or cataract, but with abyss. Through it, something had seated itself. A watcher, older than the moon, now saw through him. On his final day, he returned to the cliff beyond the town, clutching the image of the lighthouse. Locals described seeing two figures at the edge, a man with hollow sockets and a nurse long thought dead. When the fog lifted, only a smear of blood and a discarded pair of brass spectacles remained. Beneath one lens etched in pinpricks, "We do not blink." The end.